In today's video, I'm going to talk about letters A, O, and a bit on letters B, D, and G. These letters all have something in common in that they're called circle letters. They have a circle to them. A and O are the primary circle letters because they're really completely circular, while the B, D, and G have a circular part, but then they have, the G goes to the lower zone and the other two go to the upper zone. So the pure circle letters are A and E. But things that they can form when found in the B's and D's and G's, in the loops of those letters, in the circles of those letters, will have the same meaning, okay? So circle letters have a lot to do with communication. So O and A's have a lot to do with communication. They're in the middle zone. The middle zone's one of our responsibilities through getting through life is proper communication. So looking at these letters will let you, see the person's capacity for communicating, how they're communicating, okay? And that's, of course, a really, really critical thing. It's especially important because there's a manner of communicating called lying, okay? And that's one of the things as a handwriting person you're going to be called upon to look at a lot. And so, yes, for those types of things, you need to study these letters, okay? Okay. Now, the other thing about these circle letters is, as we all know, a circle is a sign of love. It's a symbol of love. So anytime a person starts doing a circular form, there's a quality of love. So like people have garlands, have circular garland handwriting. They're more loving, easygoing, soft, loving type beings. Angular people are angry, focused, doers. They're not in their hearts as much as the people writing with circles, right? And of course, where everyone is forced to write with circles, whether they want to or not, is when it comes to the circle letter. So the circle letters, especially the A's and O, also has a lot to do with love. And the D, G, and B also does, but there's some different connotations to that because of the stems that go into the upper and lower zones on those letters. And we'll talk about their qualities of love, how it's connected to those zones, what kind of loves those are in another video. Okay, so mostly we're going to talk about A's and O's. So let's look at a proper O to get an idea of what love should look like. Okay, the proper O, you're coming down your life and you see something, you go, wow, and you come around here and then you go forward. Okay, it's a nice clear thing. You're coming along, you're moving down your life, and you see something that makes you go, wow, and you want to, wrap your heart around it. And then you wrap it and then you go forward, okay? You make this connection, it's clean, it's healthy. There's nothing weird there, okay? Anytime you get a distortion on there, there's something happening in that connection that's not normal, okay? So same with an A. I'm gonna have to write this way to do the A, I'm afraid to show you, okay? Okay, A is very similar. You come up, you make the connection at the top of the A, then you go back, complete the circle. So the idea is you come up, you bump into something that you love, and then you go around and make a nice clean circle and then continue forward. You just come up and bump. That's healthy, okay? That's a person who connects in a healthy way, we can say, okay? As they, again, middle zone, going through my day-to-day life, which is about dealing with people, am I connected in a healthy way? A's and O's like this are communicating clearly, they're communicating honestly, and they say what they mean, and if they mean to say it, they say it. Okay, those are really rare and good qualities. You'll oftentimes see various distortions in these letters, okay? But that's the ideal that we're looking for. A nice, clean circle where we come in, connect, make the circle to what we connect, create the love and the communication with the circle we love, and then we move forward on our lives, okay? So if someone draws an O like this, they go here, and then let's say they come up to their O, then they go here, and they loop it again, and go into the next letter. What kind of love do you think that will be? Okay, they're basically retracing the circle. So instead of just coming, making a nice loving connection, pulling themselves together, being themselves and moving forward, they're basically finding this thing they love, wrapping it up in a rope and trying to drag it forward into their lives. So they're like hog tying you, they're taking you with you, controlling you. Or if they've got long legs and big beautiful eyes and all kinds of other assets, they're just going like this, wrapping you around their finger. So imagine this as a ring spinning on a finger or you being tied up. So there's a quality of them that when they bump into something love, they're going to seize that thing. They're going to hold on to it. They're going to control it. They're going to want to own it. And it's not really going to be a great loving connection because that's not what love is. Love is about making a connection. And as these forms shapes show, the connection's made, but it's coming from a very adult self, meaning the person can stand on their own 2 feet so they can make a healthy connection. This person can't. They have to tie something to themselves. Okay? And I've seen these funny O's in lots of ways. Like one way, the person would write like this. It's hard to duplicate. Then they go here and go like this. So they would double loop. This section was all, this half of the O was always double looped. Okay? So that means they want to wrap people up in their love, which means they want to control so they have the people they need. It's not really love. It's not making a healthy connection, sharing, and each person maintaining their own identity and their own integrity. Okay? So, and you can kind of just imagine what would that mean. Okay? Now, let's say, and this is, remember, this is a person who communicates clearly. They say what they mean. If they don't want to say it, they don't say it. So a person like this, you can tell them something with A's and D's like this. You can tell them something in security, and they're not going to tell everyone. They have control over what they're saying. Their adult mind, is on top of that. Okay? But let's say you get a person that writes their O like this, and the top is open, or their A has an open top. What does that mean? Okay? Well, now their mouth is big and wide and open. Okay, so now they can't keep their mouth shut. Okay, so if you tell this person a secret, they might be the best, most honest person in the world, and they'll try not to keep your secret, but they just simply won't be able to. They have no control over what comes out of their mouth. And the wider their O and A gap, the less control they have out of their mouths. Okay, there's just no control. It's just gonna come out. Okay. We can say they're overly loving beings. Everyone is one love, so if everyone knows everyone's secrets, what's the difference? They just can't differentiate enough. Okay, it just comes out. So any of these people do something and they want to lie about it and they want to hide it, they'll be able to hide it for a weekend if they're maybe, and then it's coming out, So if you're with someone like this and they're having an affair, you'll find out. They'll tell you. It's just a matter of time. Okay. This kind of person, they're having an affair, they're going to talk to you about it first. They're going to say, I know where I'm at with this person, I know where I'm at with you, you're not going to have problems. Now we're going to talk about the people who, you might have no clue, that you're going to have to get a detective on. You never need a detective on these kinds of people when it comes to what they're saying. Okay? All right. Where's my thing? I'll just get another board here. Maybe not. We can fit a few more things here. Okay. Now let's say a person, you see this stuff a lot, okay? They come in here, they do a loop, and they loop their O like this. So they start it with a loop. So they have an entry loop in their O, or in their A, they come up here, just a sec. Okay. And they have a loop at the beginning of the A. And they can be long loops, oftentimes they're little tiny loops. There's a loop, an entry loop in the A or O. You can also sometimes find this somewhere else, but usually if you find it, it's going to be in these places, okay? It's possible to do the same thing as you do with an A, come in on a D, I think. Yeah, you can also do an entry loop on a D, it means the same thing, okay? That's a person who, right, as they're going here, they're going forward to make the connection, and then they loop it. And what that means is there's something they're wrapping up. Okay? This little part is a little package that they're wrapping up, and that's not being allowed space for connection. Okay? And here, nothing's packaged, nothing wrapped up. Here, something's packaged, something's being wrapped up. What? Something they don't want to think about. So this is a person who lies to themselves. Okay? There's something that they aren't brave enough to see, something they don't want to know, something they don't want to acknowledge, a truth they don't want to face, a reality they can't deal with, who knows? Something that they feel the need to lie to themselves about it. Okay? Sometimes I've seen it in charts of people who have a lot of fame and acknowledgement, and then they don't, for something that maybe they're not really quite doing as to the degree that people think, and they can't really acknowledge that they are more limited in what they're doing. So they kind of lie to themselves and play the role of everyone that people might think, and they're lying to themselves, saying, yeah, I am this thing, I am at this level, I am this capable, when it's kind of a lie to themselves, okay? So there's an element of lying to oneself. Now, when a person lies to oneself, of course, they're never going to be able to be completely honest with other people. It's not lying to other people, but they can't be fully honest because there's something they're not being honest with about themselves. So if they won't let themselves know it, how are they going to let someone else know it? They can't. Okay? Okay, then you'll see people who go like this, and they have an entry loop coming out of the O, or out of the A, okay? An exit loop, okay? This is a person who's tying something up that goes to the other person. Remember, this is the letter, right? The left side of the letter is the subjective you. The right side is in front of the letter, that's the other people that are towards you, right? So when we go like this, we're moving forward, we bump into someone, we make a nice clean connection of communication and love and move forward. Here, we're moving forward healthy as ourselves, we bump into something, and then with this person, there's something we keep secret from them. This is something we consciously decide not to share with them. Whereas this one, being on the more subjective side, the entry loop, is often something that a person consciously is locking up from themselves. Most of the time they have no idea, that unless there's other indications of deception and lying going on, what they're keeping from themselves. They just simply can't live in a paradigm where they can see that thing and still exist in their paradigm, basically. Okay? And for that paradigm to be shaken, to be changed, let's say, love is always something that can open us to new paradigms, right? Okay? Like say we think, oh, these people are bad, but then we meet a person from that culture and fall in love with them, now our paradigm has totally changed. Nothing changes our paradigm as much as love, right? So if our paradigm can shift, so where we can allow for something to exist, well, we always allow more love, right? So if we can increase our circle of love to allow other possibilities to exist, then we have less reason to lie to ourselves, really. And I'm teaching this aditya class currently as well, and there's one aditya I've talked about called Varuna, the all-encompassing love, okay? So by having a great encompassing love, there's more room for acceptance in all things, okay? And so anyway, so the exit loop is someone who's keeping secrets from other people. Now, this doesn't mean lying, okay? This means keeping secrets. Not saying things. This can be really good. This can be keeping your mouth shut when you need to, okay? Meaning I don't want to say something that might hurt their feelings. Or maybe you told someone you wouldn't say something, like say somebody says, oh, whatever you do, don't tell my ex that I still love them, and then the ex shows up, the person with the wide open mouth, after a while can't keep their mouth shut and says, she's still madly in love with you. But this person won't be able to say, okay, I'm going to tie that up. I'm going to keep it hidden from that person. It's wrapped up. They can't see it. They can't hear it. I'm not going to communicate it to them. Okay? If you see other signs of lying, then this exit loop will make a person a more effective liar. Okay? All right.